Hello my friends, this is Black Captain 8 here again, and in today's video we're going to give you 3 quick tips to get those mining dailies done while you're at war. Stay tuned. Hello my friends.
Live long and prosper.
So the first tip that we have here, the first thing that you're going to want to do is to mine nearby. You're going to want to hop on a node that is near you whenever you're mining during wartime. You don't want to waste any time in transit, and if you get blown up, you're going to obviously we want to try to avoid getting blown up, but if you do get blown up, you're going to want to be able to either retaliate quickly because you're at war, or if you're shielded and don't want to lose that shield, at least build your miner back up and get it back out there real quick after they've already left the system and have to cancel a warp, whatever, come back. I would recommend, if you are around the 30s like I am, Pajim is great if you need gas, Rator is great if you need your ore, and then of course Morska is great if you need crystal. We're going to go ahead and go to crystal. There are also territories outside of these three. These are just great for your earlier in the game while you're right there in your faction space. Faction space might actually help protect you a little bit from being hunted because people are not as keen to go into areas that they are hated and get bounty hunters on them that can mess up their day. Now, I wouldn't rely on that, but keep that in mind that that might deter people if you do go mine in these faction space areas. Otherwise, if you go to your territory, yeah, you can go mine a lot of stuff really quickly in those, that's great, but they're going to come into your territory pretty frequently when you're at war, so you might want to be a little bit craftier than that. So the first thing we're going to do is find us a spot near a node. We'll go ahead and move over here. We're going to mine some crystal. You just want to go plop it on a close node wherever you are. You want to get out there, you want to mine near your base. So the second tip that we have is that you're going to want to mine it as quickly as possible, of course. That's less exposure to the enemy. So we've got, of course, a North Star out here. We kept it for this exact reason, so that we can get our dailies done really quickly during wartime. We have tossed Barrett on here, Ston, because we need that capacity up to be able to get our materials that we need to hit that daily goal, whatever it is. And then, of course, we want to make sure that we have 7 of 11 now that they've renamed him on the ship as well. And then we just stack straight health below deck, as much health as we can get on there, because healthy miner. We've gone over what the North Star does here before, but if this is your first exposure to the North Star, this is why I will never scrap Minus, because it is fantastic for getting this grade 3 materials, especially during wartime, because not only can it mine it very quickly, but it can kind of have a little bit of teeth to it. So around, I mean, it's not going to keep like an Enterprise from coming to destroy it, but somebody's Bordis or Saladin, perhaps an early level Saladin, may not really want to take that repair that you'll get from a North Star. And then especially those first tier of your faction ships like your Legionary D3 and Mayflower, those really don't want to tangle with this too much. The final tip that I have for mining when you are at war is to keep that ship protected. You can do the obvious thing like I've done here and tossed a D3. Of course, a D3 is not going to deter very many people, especially not one that's not very well built up like this one. I'm using it for another video, so forgive me for having a tiny little D3 on here that I haven't built yet. But you can do something like this. I see this a lot where somebody has their warship parked right next to their miner. Like, I'm guarding this and I'm going to get you. That, if you're paying attention, great, that might help. A lot of cases they're just going to come and attack that warship. They're going to bring in something big enough to handle both your warship and your miner. You have to be watching. Maybe you can get out of there faster, whatever. That's not the best way to do it. The best way that I have seen to do this is to do something like this. If we go ahead and you have to actually make sure that you stagger this correctly. So we want to go ahead and take the node that we want to sit on when both of these ships are in the zone, my warship that's protecting my miner and my miner. Yes, I know that my North Star is almost as strong as this D3 class is, but this is just for illustrative purposes. So the first thing I want to do is find the node that I want to go ahead and mine. So let's go ahead and mine this one because it's a little bit away. We got 9 seconds to be able to do this. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that your miner is further away. It's not going to get there first. You want to make sure that your warship parks on that node first, and then you're going to bring your miner in behind it. You'll watch what happens here. Warship is mining. As soon as our miner hits that node, though, it'll flip our warship off, and now our miner is doing the mining. You can also see that we've got them both stacked there. So a lot of players will not look at that. They will either see a warship on here and not see your miner at all and go, whatever, I don't want to mess with that. They might just see the miner and come in and try to attack it, and if that's the case, they may misclick and attack your ship there. You might get lucky. This is a very active thing to do, though. If you're going to sit there, you're in wartime, and you're going to try to deter the enemy, then you can do this. I've done this a lot. I know people who have successfully done this in our alliance and just throughout the server, to sneaky, toss that warship underneath that node there, so as soon as somebody comes in and they're attacking your ship, or you know they're going to attack your ship, or even as soon as there's an enemy in the zone and they don't realize that you're there, you can go ahead and take the fight to them first. Or if your warship does manage to get destroyed, you are literally right there, so you can hop on the ship before it has a chance to flee. Anyways, those are 3 things that I do to make sure that I am able to get my mining done even when we are at war. And of course, I guess tip number 4 is try not to rely on having to mine during war. Make sure that you got you a good stockpile built up. Switch your refining down a level or to the minimum level if you need to, so that you are not having to rely so much on getting out there and mining when you're at war. Sometimes you have those wars that drag on forever and ever and ever, and sorry if that happens, but you still got to get your dailies done. That is a big way to demoralize your enemy, though, is to keep them from getting their dailies done. So that's another thing. Even if you're winning the war, you don't want to be spending all your time mining. You want to be out there fighting a war. That's part of the fun of this game. This is a war miner that has a Star Trek skin on it. We all love it. That's why we're here, is to get better at it. That's about it for this video. Just a couple quick tips to make sure that you're able to mine during war times. Live long and prosper, my friends. We'll catch you next time.